Hello YouTube watchers. First of all, so sorry we've not been able to do any videos in ages. Those of you who know me know I work as a freelance photographer as well as a medical photographer for the NHS, so I've not been able to go to any events just due to the summer weddings and things like that. But we wanted to make a little video, which some people had asked for, about combat. Here you can see us having a bit of a practice. There's Neil in all of his armour. And me not wearing armour because I'm quite lazy. We're mixing the footage between some headcam stuff and my camera, which you can see in a few times, which I use for my freelance work. There it is. Just to show you a bit more of what's going on. Here we're doing basic 6s or basic 8s. So it's attacking both shoulders and then through the belly, and now we're practicing just Neil counter-attacking off each of my attacks. So he just parries and strikes back. And then you can see the advantage. As soon as I drop down and go for his legs, he can read it and just step off and do a swipe. Here he's doing, some people call this like the sparrow or chicken leg. I got a friend who's very, very good at this, and you just flick the leg up and out the way. Here you can see the same thing from my point of view. So we're slowing it down a little bit here. We speed it up again in a second. So just putting in an attack. Here we go for the legs, and you can see it's very easy when someone attacks your legs, if you're quick, just to step off the line and drop one straight down the middle at them. Not often, leave themselves nice and open. One of the basic rules of combat is keep your weapon in between you and your opponent for as long as possible, and as soon as you attack the legs, that's not going to happen. Here you can see me attempting to use a bit of speed, so I'm not parrying, I'm just counter-strotting. So I'm waiting for Neil to attack me and then just throwing in attacks at that lead arm. It gets quite annoying quite quickly, and you can see Neil really tries to get me in a little bit, but using some sneaky footwork, I'm able to just drop down lots of annoying wrist shots and elbow shots and keep out the way without actually blocking anything. If you look at it now from my point of view, you can really see, although Neil's not coming at me full speed, he's given me lots of time to read his shots and making them pretty telegraphed. Just that little straight into the wrist, little uppercuts as well. If you're fighting an opponent who's a lot better than you, lots of wrist shots is always nice. We were meant to film sound on the day, but I was a bit of an idiot and I forgot my mic. Hooray! So here I am in my room doing a little rubbish voiceover afterwards. Not quite the same, so sorry about that. So if we go back to one of the absolute basics of the techniques we're doing here, it's called 6s. So it's attacking each shoulder, across the belly, and then the top of the thigh. The reason we attack all of these places is they're nice and squidgy. Here I'm practicing high preeming, and you can see it's a lot more movement and there's a lot more energy going into it, and if you miss it, it's bad. But even if someone's got me pretty much blindsided, I can get round. And now it's showing how to block your legs, and then when I'm blocking my left hand side with a right-handed sword, it's quite a long way round. But if I then switch the blade and don't make that turn so I don't block knuckles out, you can really see here how easy it is for Neil just to flick my sword away. So it's quite important. Always block kind of punching out. If you can see how Neil's holding the sword now, and there we go, that block there. So you can see the sword is an extension of my fist. So he's got to punch through that grip. If you block the other way, it's affectionately known as the wrist breaker. You're either going to get disarmed, or the sword's not going to go anywhere. Again, here you can see just making sure I block the right way. As soon as I block, not punching out, so I'm blocking with my wrist more, it's very easy for Neil just to push that out of the way. The sword's not got much room to go anywhere, so it's either going to get twisted out of my hand and go flying, or it's going to really hurt my wrist. Here we're trying a technique which I'm not very good at. Some people have really got the hang of this. It's not my cup of tea. And it's false edge. So if you see, rather than striking with the true edge, so the side I'm punching with, you can see there's that twist to the sword as I'm trying to then get around Neil's guard to then get little hits onto him. They're sneaky. When someone's really good at fighting in this style, they're a nightmare to fight because they can basically hit you anywhere and you can't read what they're doing. So it's those little twists and flicks and the blade just comes out of nowhere. There's a couple of guys at Empire who are really good at this kind of style of fighting, and it's definitely one of the strongest LARP styles. Here you can see it again from my point of view as I'm fighting Neil. There's that twist. So I'm not punching into him, I'm just trying to twist around his sword, and you can see when Neil lets me, I'm able to get round it and get a little strike in. It's a dangerous technique. You've got to be in and out very, very quickly because you're leaving yourself incredibly open if you've only got the one weapon. You'll see a lot of the people who fight with this technique will use quite large shields, so they can afford to strike in with the sword with these little twists and then not have to use it to protect themselves quite so much. It's nice, it's an extra thing if you can get really good at it and fast with it. You can attack people anywhere, and when you watch the people who are great at fighting like this style, there's a guy called Mark Gilbert. He's got some videos out, or just check him out. He does a lot of live steel stuff, and he runs a fighting school as well. He's phenomenal, especially in this kind of fighting style. He just takes me apart every time. Here we're showing why you don't want to block millions of miles out from your body. So you don't want to come and meet your opponent's attack. I'm very good at keeping my sword very close to me when I'm blocking. But here you can see as I'm letting Neil, if I come out to meet his sword, it's very easy for him to get round me. But if I keep my sword point high and close to my body, how easy it is for me to block. So here you can see it from my point of view. If I come out to meet him, there's no way my sword is going to get back to there. The best I can hope to do is trade, but then when I'm keeping my point high and sword close to me, there's not much Neil can do. Me hitting Neil in the face. It's not me fighting if I'm not hit someone in the face. So I like to make it look like I'm putting in a little spin to go for a leg shot or dropping it down and then attacking somewhere else. The swords are so light that you can do this. They weigh almost nothing. My medieval sword weighed, I think it was about 4.5 kilos. This thing weighs absolutely nothing, so you can flick it and spin it round and move the direction of it super quick. So if you fighting someone who does like to bring their guard out to meet you, just don't even attack, just throw in a little dummy, get them to bring it out, and then be putting the next attack where you think their wrist is going to be. And here again, now you can see it from my point of view, that little flick. There's the headshot. Sorry Neil, sorry about that. It's just trying to make someone bring their guard out. We do another video. With this one we're just going to focus on single swords. It's not what we really intended to do. We wanted to do an absolute basics guide, but then once I forgot the mic, that kind of went out the window. So we just kind of had a bit of fun, and Neil put some armour on and we went down to the local park where we do some training. So I'm just trying to make him bring that sword out, so as soon as his arm comes out, he can't move it so far, and I can start just to lay some blows onto it. And here you see we're just going through the sixes. So it's just Neil attacking head, shoulder, shoulder. And then just mixing it up a little bit. Bless him, I'd been running him around that field for a while, so he was in full clank, so I think he was starting to get tired. And here again you can see that just keeping the sword. I like to fight quite defensive when I'm only using a sword on board or just a single sword, and play off speed and counter game. But just fighting full defensive is quite nice. You can see here the difference in the amount of movement we've both got. Neil's armour is pretty good for him, so he can get around to block pretty much all his body. Anyway, that's all we've got. So cheers for watching. Hopefully some more videos coming soon. We filmed some more footage. It's just a matter of time before I can get stuff put together. Lovely. Cheers for watching. Bye.